When we told most people in Turkey that we were going to Ankara, the general response was, why? Why would you want to go there? But Ankara is the capital of Turkey, and we like visiting capitals, so we decided to go anyways. Our plan was to literally spend just one day there in Ankara, so we took a very early morning flight in and then a very late flight out. To get to Ankara, you need to go to the SA airport, which stands for Sabiha Gökçen International Airport. It's an international airport, but it's mostly servicing domestic flights. As with all airports in Turkey, you want to make sure that you give yourself extra time for security. For example, right when you go into an airport in Turkey, you will be screened and your baggage will be checked. And then once you get past that area and you go past the ticketing area, you will be checked again. And then sometimes you'll even be checked in your boarding gate area. So you need to make sure that you have plenty of time to get to
Looks like we are going to be taking
about 2 hours
bus out to our plane. So we're just here waiting for our airport bus that should load in about 30 minutes now. We should arrive in Ankara about 8 a.m.
For domestic flights, the two major carriers are Pegasus and Anadolu Jet. Anadolu Jet is basically a subsidiary company of Turkish Airlines and is the airline that we took to go to Ankara.
Okay, we are now landing in Ankara. If what the guy said is true, it is 28 degrees outside, so it makes it pretty cold. It doesn't look like it's 28 degrees outside because I can see green down there, so, but it's a desert land, so who knows? We'll have to see when we get down there. Coming into Ankara here, it looks pretty barren. A little bit of green. According to what I can see on my phone, it's 37 degrees outside, so that's pretty cold. There's trees and stuff, so that's not too bad. Not much to see, but we'll see what there is to see. Here in Ankara Airport. It's a pretty big airport, but most of it's closed down. Most of it's not even being used. It's going to be like the other airports. So our goal here is to find a car rental place so that we can go to do a day of sightseeing in town. We are now down in the rental car area, and we rented a rental car with budget rental car. With insurance, it was about $40 for the day. Okay, we got the rental car. We're on our way. I see a bunch of statues. That was weird. And we're headed to Antikabir. We're on the outskirts of Ankara, and it should take us about 24 minutes to get there. Luckily for us, there's not many people on the road, so that will be to our advantage, I think. Coming in the gates of Ankara, which is Mustafa City. Okay.
Founded in the 1930s by Mustafa Ataturk, the capital of Turkey is a relatively modern city for Turkish standards. Driving around town is pretty easy. The signs are very well marked, and all the streets are pretty wide.
So we have just arrived here in Antikabir, which is the tomb of Mustafa Ataturk, and there is a lot of security. We had to get all of our luggage checked before we could come in. This place is pretty huge. Kind of has like a Mesopotamian vibe going towards it. And lots of stairs.
Mustafa Kemal Ataturk died in
It's a
1938,
pretty big
and Antikabir is his mausoleum, and you can go to his tomb
ceiling.
inside the mausoleum
Has
at
gold in it.
Antikabir. The ceiling is made up of gold, and it is all done in marble.
On the wall over there, here's the tomb of Mustafa Ataturk, and it says Ataturk commanded. He was the commander and leader of everything here. A great message of victory from Ataturk, saying that he congratulated the army in successfully in 1938 taking care of any foreign enemies. Looking at an old flagpole here, it says was the highest was 333 meters, but they had to take it down because it had too many issues. So they have this flagpole instead. This is a Lincoln, 1935 Lincoln, which was Mustafa Ataturk's car. They have restored and preserved here. Here's another car. This looks like a Jaguar. What year is it from, AJ? Can you see? A 1934 Lincoln. Here at the gravesite of Ismet Inal, which is opposite of the Ataturk's tomb, and he was the first president after Ataturk, and he was born in Izmir, which we are going to tonight. Okay, let's go this way.
This room had a caisson that was used to carry Ataturk's body, and it showed a little movie about the funeral of Mustafa Ataturk and how the body got to Ankara.
Now I'm trying to find out how we get to the Grand National Assembly, which is the capital of Ankara and the country. I think it's this building right here, this big pink one, but I'm not sure.
Security is pretty tight at the Grand Assembly Room. You can't really tour it, but we did see the building going down the street in passing, so that was good enough for us.
Here at the Museum of Ethnography, which is the Ethics Cultural Museum here in Ankara. This is the first burial place of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, and we're gonna see now it's a cultural museum, and we can learn about the different cultures of Turkey. It's a beautiful building. I think it's gonna cost 15 lira to go inside, so we'll see how it goes. This is showing some of the culture of Turkey from the 1800s. Very interesting needlework here. Very immaculate designs. In here we have some beautiful needlework. And up there is the sign of the Second Sultanate. We have some tablecloth here and some headscarves of the Peskir. And here is from the Ottoman Empire. Beautiful engravings. Some musical strings and a lady with a fan. Here are a lady's purse known as a Kessler. And some amazing rugs here in this room. That silk rug is just pretty amazing stuff. All the pewter dishes here, different sizes, of course, for tea and coffee. Coming over here, the detail on this is amazing. Some eating utensils here. Kasik Sanate spoon art. So different decorations made out of spoons. And here is a recreation of a house full of carpets, even on the ceiling. This is where they would circumcise. That's what they're talking about, the circumcision of a boy. This is where Ataturk was laid to rest until the mausoleum was made in 1953, but they still keep a memorial for him here. In this room here we have more tiles. We have ancient tiles and figurines, and of course more modern ones like the ones that we saw in Istanbul. Very interesting. Designs are so intricate. You can tell these blue ones are from Istanbul because of the tulips. Over here we have some golden inlay, artifacts of glass, very interesting. And some big pots for cooking stews, and a medieval soldier with chainmail and a curved sword. And decorative daggers and axes, knives. Here's how the Ottomans would fight. Of course, the Ottomans were well versed in the use of rifles and had very decorative rifles. Here's some muskets. What we are looking at here is a tile from 1368. And this is talking about the Turkish Empire and influence from China, 1368. Some wooden stairs for prayers, I think. At the top of this is where they would do prayers. Very intricate designs. It looks like over here they're building another museum, well, restoring the other side of the museum, the Resin Heykel Museum. But it's closed, obviously. But it's still interesting to look at from the outside. Beautiful building. And then you can see the mosque over here at the left has 4 columns. Beautiful vantage point from up here. Here at the Ankara Castle that you can see in the background, which is an ancient castle, well, not so ancient, Ottoman Empire castle that would protect the city. I'm going to turn. As you can see, we have a really good view of the rest of the city from here. So you can see why this castle was definitely strategic. Sheer cliff walls and all, bunch of ramparts. We're going to go to the castle and to the Anatolian Museum. This castle wall is like Spain. When they dug up the old Roman ruins and they dug up their tombs and made a castle wall out of it. That's what this looks like to me. They were using Roman tombs. We're entering the outer wall of the castle now. Huh, very interesting.
Inside the castle walls is very interesting. It opens up into this beautiful little plaza village where there's all these little
Lots
old
of copperware here.
antique stores.
Very obviously, looking at the walls, they were totally using ruins, like old tombs and stuff, to make this wall. Look at this lettering upside down, AJ. That's crazy. Here at the Kinzagade Konagi, which means Castle Garden Restaurant.
It was a little bit cold sitting outside, but the ambiance was really nice. They really decorated the place very well, and I enjoyed looking at all the little details. The building is from the 1600s. For lunch, we had manti, which is Ankara dumplings with flatbread, and it was very good.
Some raviolis, plenty of oregano, and some tomato sauce, and some yogurt. And Dewey's got
gonna try it first.
meatballs
Well, I
with
got
French
meatballs,
fries.
but
French
apparently
fries.
they're covered in French fries.
Okay. How is it? Was it good? I think oregano would be good. We just finished our meal, which was really good, and it only cost $18.
Ah, nice.
And we're heating up by this potbelly stove just a little bit before we tackle the castle. We're now going in the inner courtyard of the castle here. We're now inside the inner part of the castle, and there's lots of defensive positions, that's for sure. Mark was here, or at least his grave was. Now it's part of the wall. I still don't see Mommy coming up. It's a round castle. We made it here to the top of the castle, and we are rewarded with a great view of Ankara. From here we can see everything. We can see the park, we can see the museum that we were at. Over there is the mausoleum, and there's another castle right over there, AJ. There's just more than one. There's more than one castle.
You gotta defend your empire.
Yeah. Here is the view from the other side of the castle. Not so scenic. Bunch of little houses and stuff, like a ghetto. Looks like there was a landslide down there. Bunch of apartments, but you can command everything from this castle, that's for sure. We are here now at the Museum of Anatolian Civilizations, and we're gonna check it out. One of the oldest museums in Turkey. This museum, we are going to see some of the most ancient, well, different relics of the most ancient cultures of Turkey, which of course is the Anatolian civilization. Kind of Egyptian, kind of Greek, but very old, one of the oldest civilizations out there. This museum goes in chronological order, so first we are going to start with paleontology, which is ancient stones. This is a recreation of an early village hut. Back then when you died, they just buried you underneath your living quarters, so you were buried right where you lived. Your house was your tomb. A little bit, a few thousand years later, they got from 2D over here, this is 6,000 years, to about 5,000 years, they got into 3D art. And then over here, they started getting into geometric design. So you can see a development in cultures here. At this point in our tour, looks like they've learned how to use metals. So we're going to see early metalworking about 3,000 years before Christ. Gold is still gold, even if it's 2,250 years before Christ. It still shines like as if it was yesterday. Look at the intricacy of those earrings and those diadems. We have the first attempt at mining some gold cylinders here and some more skinny cows. I'm telling you, 3,000 years before Christ was a skinny cow year. 1,279 years before Christ. And these are early forms of writing. And on this stone, for example, you can see the move from hieroglyphics to written language. But up here, it's still hieroglyphics. Very interesting. Early helmet made out of gold. I don't think it worked for him too well because he looks pretty dead to me. But maybe it helped him when he was alive. Beautiful rings in there too. The forefront of what an ancient worship area for the Aniti would be. So this shows you where this statue and how it would be. It's like a little temple. We are now in the Hall of Stone Artifacts. And you can see some of the very intricate stone detail work that has been found in the country. And we'll go check it out, all Hittite in nature.
Oh, I found a gold wreath, which is pretty cool, and it's especially cool because it's an artifact that's been returned to Turkey. It was Scottish authorities found it stolen, illegally exported. So, stolen from the country.
Yeah.
You know.
And it was returned, and it's
repatriated. That's the word I'm looking for.
Repatriation from the 4th
repatriated
century.
Artifact.
Very cool. Over here, these statues kind of have Egyptian influence to them. It says they were Anatolian, but they kind of look Egyptian, but they're actually Anatolian. And there's the double-headed eagle for strength. Denise is observing that even in the museums, cats are allowed. They just chill. Nobody bothers the cats here.
They're in the restaurants. You know, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Cats are everywhere.
And it's well fed.
It's well fed. It's happy. No problem with the cat. They just do their thing. So this is a governor, Denise, you said?
This is a local king, dependent to Sargon II, king of Assyria. So,
okay, and maybe he's holding a cup. Maybe he's holding a sword. Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, after all the museums and everything that we did in Ankara, it was time to take our rental car back to the airport for an evening flight out to Izmir. So it was Ankara all in one day.
Okay, it is late. It is almost 8 o'clock, and we are loading up on our first Pegasus airline flight, and we are off to the coastal town of Izmir. Should be a small flight, just about an hour. Well, that's going to do it for the Ankara part of this video. Hope you enjoyed a look into Ankara and some of the museums. It was fun experiencing the capital city of Turkey, and I will see you on the next video.